I would happily become like an unlegitimate scientist if I really could have an impact about this very important issue. I mean, in terms of what's important, that's what's really important. You know, and maybe if I was a 20-year-old scientist starting out building a career, I'd feel differently. But I don't feel differently now.
And so I actually personally am a big fan of the direct action campaigns, but, you know, in the bigger sense, I actually feel like a diversity of tactics in that we hit them with like our, you know, we hit them legally, we hit them in the regulatory arena, we hit them politically, we hit them in the media, we hit them in the grassroots, we do community organizing, we turn communities against these projects and against, you know, things like this extraction, as well as utilize like civil disobedience and direct action, whether it's a line crossing to make a statement or whether it's people who are actually shutting down the apparatus at the point of destruction, like mining equipment, for instance, or these trucks. Then I feel like it's all like important, and I don't want to take away from one more than the other. And then on the flip side, I actually think that promoting healthy, clean solutions is also pretty important, and we need to do that more and talk about that more. This isn't a fight that needs to be waged by professional campaigners and environmental nonprofit. It's going to be waged by ordinary people in their own hometowns. And so I really want to encourage people to, you know, get involved, to take on these kind of big problems that are going to affect all of us.
I thought it was absolutely fascinating to think of civil disobedience, you know, and heck, what do you have to do to get people's attention? I don't think, you know, disobedience, as we mentioned, you know, burning houses or sticking spikes in logs. But for example, I've been reading about all the coal that's going to China. China has all of this green technology that they're selling other people they aren't using. So what if you were to go to the ports with a bunch of people and, you know, prevent the boat from going? I mean, it's certainly going to go. You're only making trouble for yourself. But maybe it would get a few people's attention. So I've been thinking about that. I think, what do we have to lose? I haven't been to jail, so I don't know how awful it would be, but, or how expensive the law parts would be, but, you know, I'd like some time to do some writing. So that could be it. I don't know what else to do. You know, I've written articles, I've written op-ed pieces, I've given lectures. You know, I've been doing that for 20 years, and nothing has changed, and maybe this won't change things either, but who knows? You know, being a Vietnam-era person, we had lots of demonstrations, and eventually I think the crowds got big enough that other people started paying attention. So what better time to cause a fuss?
Colors that you fly, love just one nation, and the whole world we divide. You say you're sorry, there is no other choice. God bless the people now cannot raise their voice. We can chase down all our enemies, bring them to their knees. We can bomb the world to pieces, but we can't bomb it into peace. Whoa, we may even find a solution and disease. We can bomb the world to pieces, but we can't bomb it into peace.
What needs to be done to achieve climate security and stability? We have heard a wide breadth of opinions on this problem, from the philosophical to the political to the personal. and the only thing that seems clear is that there is no clear solution to a problem this multifaceted and deeply rooted. However, there are 5 lessons that we can take away from this compilation of thoughts. First and foremost, current attitudes about the future of the planet in no way accurately reflect the terrifying realities of climate chaos. Inaction on the issue of climate change is not an option, because it is a matter of survival, not just for humans, but for everything humanity has come to love and value.
Second, there seems to be little cohesion as to what can be done in our personal lives and in the political sphere to address climate change, and as a result, no truly unified global movement has formed which can create transformative changes in our treatment of the planet and each other.
Third, there is a pressing need to improve communication between activists and academics in order to increase the awareness and accessibility of scientific research.
Fourth, while our interdisciplinary approach to understanding future climate issues acts as a useful primer, a holistic analysis of the issue requires a much greater diversity of perspectives, from the policymakers to the coal miners to the climate refugees.
Lastly, the classic philosophic dichotomies of intrinsic versus instrumental value and holistic versus individualistic views of the biosphere fail to recognize the interconnectedness of all beings and may therefore pigeonhole our understanding of the relationality of humans and non-humans alike.
So, while the future may look bleak, we cannot drown in apathy. We must remember to always have hope. Joop Verkamp says it best.
I have always hope. That's otherwise we may as well all buy a few big joints and smoke ourselves into oblivion.
Thanks so much for listening,
and we'll see you in the streets.
Never sends you an omen. A revolution just arrived like the morning. Ring the alarm, we come to wake up the snoring. They're telling you to never worry about the future. They're telling you to never worry about the torture. They're telling you that you will never see the horror. Spend it all today and we will build you tomorrow. 3-piece suits and bank accounts in Bahamas. Wall Street crime will never send you to the slammer. Tell all the children in the arms of the mamas the F-15 is a homicide bomber. TV commercial for a pop-up pill culture. Drug companies circling like a vulture. Amaraki babies with the G.I. Joe father. 10 years from now, is anybody gonna bother you? Fire! Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, fire! Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, fire! Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, fire! Never come with a warning. A revolution never sends you an omen. A revolution never come with a warning. A revolution. Everyone addicted to the same nicotine. Everyone addicted to the same gasoline. Everyone addicted to a Technicolor screen. Everybody trying to get their hands on the same grain. From the banks of the river to the banks of the greedy. All of the rich is taken back by the needy. We come from the country and we come from the city. Play us on a record, you can play us on a CD. All the shit you giving us is fertilizer. The seeds that you planted, you can never brutalize. Tell the corporation you can never globalize it. Like Peter Tosh said, legalize it. Girls and boys hear the bass and the treble, rumbling the speakers in and make you wanna rebel. Throw your hands up, take it to another level, and you never ever ever make a deal with the devil. Yeah, fire! Yo, 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 yo. 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 Throw your hands up. Come on, come on. Revolution never send you an omen. Revolution never come with a warning. Yeah, fire, yo, 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 yo. 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 Revolution never come with a warning. Revolution never send you an omen. Revolution just to rise like the morning. Cause you be alive, become the wake of the storm. Fire. Yo, yo, yo. Fire. Oh, here we come, here we come. A revolution will come. Put 'em up, put 'em up.
Special thanks to all those who contributed to this program: Professors Lori Gruen, Elise Springer, Suzanne O'Connell, Barry Chernoff, Dana Royer, Ellen Thomas, and Joop Verkamp, as well as climate activist Scott Parkin. The music you've heard on this program comes from Michael Franti and Spearhead. Also, a very special thanks to WESU Middletown for providing space and equipment to put this show together. Thanks so much.